Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey, welcome back. This is Heather Hope, and this is the Inspired Entrepreneur podcast. Okay, so let's jump into it. Today I have been so very busy. I've been out of the house half the day. So today is Friday the 13th, November 13th, 2020. I love Friday the 13th. Call me crazy or weird, but I mean, I was married twice on the 13th. The first time was in October. Second time was July. And my husband, our first date was May 13th, and we got married on July 13th, 3 years apart. But my first wedding, I mean, it's just funny. I attract husbands, that sounds so funny, who also like the number 13. So I love 13. I've always been kind of like against the grain, the odd one, the different one, always liking the things that other people don't like, not liking what the masses like. It's really quite funny. Anyway, so I am recording this Thursday night. It's like 9:30, and this is probably the latest I've ever recorded a podcast episode because I just ran out of time earlier before I had to go run some errands. Okay, so let's jump into it. I had to have dinner, and then I had to wake up because I was so tired. And so here we are. Okay, so today's message is you can't force it. You have to allow it. Think about all the things you cannot force. You can't make things happen for the most part. You have to allow it. So this is really a message of, or a reminder. Everything's just a reminder, right? That there's no assertion. There's just attraction. And you just can't force anything. You have to allow it. Okay, so I'm just going to go there. I did a Facebook Live, gosh, over a year ago. It was in my group, my free group. It's still there. So if you're in my group, you can search for it. It's deep in that group somewhere. It's probably under announcements way far ago. And it's my example. I love this example of manifestation. There's so many examples that I love, but this particular one, I think everybody can relate to. And I think I'm going to go there. And that is orgasm. So hopefully I don't need to make this rated R or anything. But if you want to hear the thing, it's really good. I don't think I'm going to get into that much detail on here, but you can find it in my group. I think the group is still called. I haven't accepted any new people in my group in like 4 or 5 months. It's been quite weird. I have over 150 requests for the group, and I just have like no desire to let anyone in. It's really weird. I don't do anything in that group anymore. I mean, I share this podcast in it every day and a message here and there, but I don't do anything like structured. I don't do anything, if you're listening to this and you're in my group, you're probably like, yeah, you're right. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's how I feel anyway. I kind of got just like over it. You know what I mean? Like I'll get into something for a while and get really into it. And then it's like, I'm over it. And I think that's really good to do, is to keep moving forward and not holding on to things just because you feel obligated to. And letting things go that don't excite you anymore. Moving forward. Okay. So if you think about orgasm, you think about how you can't force it, right? You have to allow it. And the thing about using that as a really great example of manifestation is like you have to line the energy up. So think about it. You line the energy up, which means, you have to have some thoughts about it. if you're with a partner, you kiss and you do, all the things to warm up, right? That's lining up energy. If you think about that, right? So next time you're with your partner or with yourself, either way, think about it. I just I used to think about it every so often, and I'm like, God, it's so perfect. It's such a perfect example. But you warm up, right? You warm up, you're lining up energy. The energy's flowing. Things are happening. You're getting sensations. And eventually, like, you have to let go, right? You have to let go, and you have to allow. And you allow it to happen. You allow the orgasm to happen. And, next time this occurs for you, think about it. Like, really think about it. You're like, oh my gosh. And that is how you allow everything. You line up the energy, line up the energy, line up the energy, which means having your focus on it, which means having positive focus, right? So the people, typically people who are unable, I don't like using that word, but unable to have an orgasm, a lot of times they go and see a sex therapist, right? So what does a sex therapist do? It's going to be basically getting out of your head about things, right? And a lot of times, this is the same for everything. Like, how you manifest one thing is how you manifest everything. It's all the same. No matter what the subject is, you can just plop in a different subject and there you go. Um, but when you think about it, like, I can't, and this goes for everything. Like, if you have that thought process a lot, like, I'm unable to, I cannot function, I cannot get an erection, I cannot have an orgasm. You know what I mean? And that's lining up the thing not happening, right? It's lining up the negative thinking, like the blocks of it or something. It's basically doing the opposite, but not allowing, right? That's the same. We've been talking about that every day, basically. Of allowing is lining up with it, like allowing it to happen. So if you line up with it cannot happen, it doesn't happen, it never has happened, or it's difficult, you know what I mean? It's all mindset, right? So everything is about how you believe it to be. And it could just be from a couple of times of it not happening because you were, or a person, not you, but a person not in their in the right frame of mind while it was happening, right? And getting too worked up about it not happening, right? So allowing it to happen, relaxing, lining up the energy, which means lining up the thoughts towards it. So you cannot force it. You have to allow it. The harder you try, the harder it is, right? It's more difficult. The harder that you try and you put all your thoughts in and you're like, oh my God, this has got to work. It's got to happen. It's got to be this time. You know what I mean? It's like that stress, and it doesn't allow it to happen. Like I said, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter what it is. Orgasm, relationship, money, job, whatever it is, house, car, whatever, right? You cannot force it. You have to allow it. You have to allow it. So, comment below if you've noticed that in this topic that I've chosen. This feels like it's like the late night topic since it's 9:30. It's just so late, right? I'm just kidding. Usually I'm recording these somewhere between like 3 and 5 p.m. So tomorrow I'm going to record some more while my husband's out of the house. I tend to like to do that more often while he's gone. just so I can keep my door open. So anyway, to let the air in and out and the dog in and out and that sort of thing. So happy Friday the 13th, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. But let me know down in the comment section, wherever, if you resonate with this, if you can be like, oh yeah, I've noticed that, or yeah, you know what, I'm gonna notice it next time. And next time, I line up the energy for that. But like I said, I get into a lot of detail about that in that recording. I had a lot of great feedback on that. Actually, it's interesting. I should pull it out, bring it to the forefront of the group. It's just one of those topics, which I don't mind talking about at all. It's interesting, right? So, okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing rest of your Friday the 13th. And let me know how you feel about Friday the 13th. I mean, it's no particularly special thing. It's just one of those things that people like, oh no. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? So I was actually excited. I think it's a new moon, which I always had a theory about new moons, but a moon you can't see. Like, how mysterious is that? I don't know if it's technically tomorrow. It's probably Saturday or something. I don't know. I don't follow moons anymore. I did when I was a therapist, just for kind of the fun of it, of like, but I was always into the new moon because I'm like, a full moon that you can't see. How creepy is that? So it's extra dark. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a good rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow. Thank you.